So I believe we are recording. I believe we are recording here. So welcome. It's our Monday night training call. And as promised, I appreciate all of your support and all of you for being here tonight. I'm just going to make sure I have everybody muted here. Yeah. You could all just be careful and mute yourself. That would be great. Super. So I'm really excited tonight because this person that's coming on this call is one of the most amazing, resilient, kind, and giving human being that you could ever meet. I'll just tell you a little bit about this person. First of all, he's a doctor. He's had the honor of serving thousands of patients over 30 years in the natural health field. First as a chiropractor, and now as you may know him as the Good News Doctor. His passion has always been to serve and teach others to live a pain-free life using natural therapies. His wife and him were in a head-on collision with an 18-wheeler almost 28 years ago. He was permanently disabled at the age of 40, not 28 years ago, 18 years ago, sorry, confined to a wheelchair, had several back surgeries and a computer implanted in his spine simply to block out the pain from his chest down. He suffered terrible anxiety. He suffered depression. And he lost his passion and purpose for serving others. But he was told, like a lot of us tell people, don't give up hope. Someday he would find a technology and products that would help him with major breakthroughs and others in their health. He remembered a quote from his childhood: if you want something bad enough, you have to be willing to fall down 6 times and get up 7. Well, the good news is for our dear friend, he got up the 7th time and never looked back. He found healing power not only in the Creator, but in natural therapies. He feels it's truly a miracle and a gift from God that he's able to walk again and live a pain-free life, doing all the fun activities he used to enjoy. Having personally broken through all of the barriers that held him down, he's now regained his life's purpose. Help those being held back by their current health circumstances. And the good news that options are available for healing far beyond what they may have been told. This gentleman I've had the pleasure of knowing for probably close to 12 years now. He's become a personal friend, along with his wife and their 2 children. He's a mentor, and he exudes what it takes to have great character. So, without further delay, it is my great great pleasure to welcome back my dear friend and many of yours, Dr. Mark DeBrincat. Dr. Mark, if you could unmute yourself, that would be great.
Good evening, everybody. Oop,
There.
can you hear me?
Can hear you perfectly.
All right, fantastic.
So,
Why?
so good to see you, brother, back in the fold.
Yeah, likewise.
I know that there's been a ton of people that have missed your family, missed your mentorship, missed your guidance. You have a phenomenal way of getting through to people in a way that we can all understand. And you bring nothing but good news. And we're so grateful to have you back. So welcome. Thank you for being on the
Uh,
call tonight.
yeah, thank you, Terry. And I have certainly never left it heart. I have worn my socks every day and continue to turn patients onto it all over the globe. So you can't do 30,000 brain maps with this tech on and off and then decide it doesn't work. That's just not in the wheelhouse there. So I'm super excited to come back. I see this comp plan now. Thanks for sharing it with me, Terry, because it is something to be excited about. I came from the corporate side, as many of you know, and worked very closely with Jay, and we traveled the country, the world even, and really brought this technology to a lot of very influential people. And it was quite the exciting ride. And then, of course, COVID hit, and everybody turned out to stay inside, and you know how the rest played out. So I'm just super excited to see what he's done and the new opportunity that's in place with this, and also being able to be in the field for a change and being able to, truly see how many people we can touch. And it's not about numbers, it's about lives, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's so many people have a better quality of life because they met us and they're using this technology and they appreciate it. I just think I'm going to run out of places to put it, if we keep coming out with more of these patches.
Exactly. Exactly. I remember, Dr. Mark, the first time um, you sent the first image. I still have it on my phone of the first QEEG of the brain actually changing from red to green. And I think that's
Yeah.
probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 9 years ago. And I remember saying, oh my,
2016. Yep.
yeah, 2016. I'm like, oh my. I remember you and I having a conversation. You went, this will change the way we look at wellness across the globe. And
You
so
know,
that's,
the funny thing about that is I actually had a patient of mine that I was working with, her son, who had a lot of neurological issues at the time. And we were doing aggressive brain training and all of that. And she's like, oh, well, you need to take these socks and you need to give them to all your patients. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, I've heard that. It's like everybody tells me whatever it is that they're selling that I need to give that to all my patients. And I probably had those darn things for weeks. And she'd keep being persistent and call me, have you tried the socks yet? Have you tried the socks yet? Knowing that I do all this brain mapping stuff. And so it was so funny. I was so embarrassed that she had to ask for like the 12th time. And I'm like, fine, I'm hanging up and I'm doing it right now just to prove to you that these things don't work like you said. And I hang up the phone and then I put it on. I got my head. You can see my limbic system's all lit up because I just got off the phone and I'm like, oh, I got to get this thing done. And then I put my feet on the insoles and I literally shocked myself. Like I could not
yeah.
believe that something could do that fast. And I took them off, put them back on, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we I need to videotape that. So that was yeah, that was the
I
beginning of
remember
that whole journey. Yeah.
I remember just saying, you said, now my fleet just got placed on the insole and we want it all green. And your whole limbic system changed. And I'll never forget those words. It'll be on my phone till the day I die because that was the original first time we saw the technology calm things down back to homeostasis. And
Yeah.
that was just so exciting back then. I remember we were excited, and we think about, the journey that we've had, your journey in, repairing your own body from
Yeah.
a near death fatal injury, being broken, and I mean physically broken, mentally broken. And I remember you and I have talked about that journey at length sometimes, and talked about how this technology has really helped you at times cope with the issues that you were dealing with. And I think was 17 years ago now, Mark, or 18 years ago.
No, 29 years
So I
ago.
was right. It was 28. I said 28 on the call, but
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. It was
but
97, 1997. So about, yeah, 28 years.
yeah, if you guys go into thegoodnewsdoctor.com, you'll read a little bit about Mark and Christy's story, his wife, beautiful wife. And you'll see the actual wreck of his car, that of their vehicle that they survived. And to know now that we have these modalities that we can help ourselves both physically, mentally, based on touch, because we all feel that sometimes when we get a hug, don't we? You know,
Sure.
um, and um, and I think it's really, really exciting. And your journey in the technology um, was instrumental from my perspective of bringing this to the world. So I know that not just me, but I know there's everybody on this call. As I said, some of you know him, some of you will want to know him. So please follow him on his go to his website. He's just an incredible. So Mark, we had the patches, just prior to COVID. We had the Neurovax patch, and I remember, when Jay first said to you, this patch will, I don't know what he said, but clean up your blood or whatever he said, and you're like, no way, bro, it's not gonna happen, whatever. And then we
Sure.
then tell us a little bit about the first blood draw that you did with regards to the then Neurovax patch, which is now rebranded as Defend.
Yeah. So that was a very exciting time when that first came out. And at the time, we were using dark field microscopy. And so it's basically a video of your blood, and you got to do it shortly after you draw the blood while it's still alive. And you're looking for, parasites, toxins, debris. You're looking at the red blood cells, and quite often you see a condition called rouleaux, where you've lost the charge on that red blood cell, so they start sticking together. And when they stick together, they're like a pack of lifesavers swimming around. So they don't get into the nooks and crannies of everything. And what we saw, we put the patch on, and within 20 minutes, 30 minutes, they were all open and freely swimming around and carrying oxygen again. And it was like this response of the immune system to be able to tighten up the ability to get the blood everywhere, bring the charge back. It's all about signaling. We talk about the energetic field sends 400 million bits of data to your brain every second. Well, what does that mean? There's signals. Like Jay says, if you had your eyes closed and I drew the letter um, a number eight on your hand, you could immediately tell me that was an eight. You can visualize an eight. You're creating a new memory of what I just did, and you're putting it in the data bank. Says, I know how to identify an eight when somebody does that on my body. Now, what did that do though? Like, did it add weight to your body? No, your brain didn't get heavier. So what is it? Okay, it's signaling. As a chiropractor, I'm super passionate about a brain, spine, signaling every cell in your body back and forth, and that's how our body maintains homeostasis, maintains healing. It all starts with signaling. The signaling creates a chemical reaction, cascade, which then helps the physical body or hurts it. So we've just figured out how to biohack signals into your body and not have it to be a short-term thing. It can be like a continuous radio station that your nervous system loves to hear. And that's what it's hearing when these patches are on your body. It stays in sync. Now, we also talked a little while ago how when I first started doing all these tests, in the beginning it was insoles, and we thought the insoles worked the best because they're the thickest grooves and has the biggest space of this pattern. And then we had socks, and we're like, wow, well, geez, the socks work just as good. That's crazy. How can we work so good? And I would have the same person go back and forth from all the sock, the insole, and then we got the patch, the Liberty patch, and we started testing that and thinking, well, the patch can't be as good as both of those. And what if we put two patches on? Would I have more balance and different function in the brain when it came to opening up that brainstem? And what we found out is it made no difference. One, 10, one of each had the same exact output on the brainstem. So it defunct that whole I need to put more on. Now I say that, but then I was in the hospital with COVID and I called Jay and say, Jay, help me save my life. I got COVID. I think I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
die.
remember
And
that.
he's
Yeah.
like, put two patches on each side of your neck, put one on your chest, put one on your inner thigh, and put one on your stomach. And I'm like, okay, five, six, seven patches. I just had them all over me. And you know what? I checked myself out of the hospital that same day and went home and was able to recover and not, they tried to admit me, but there was no way I was going there. So, yeah, so at that time, an immune response, I guess we had a heightened immune response by putting more around your body. Obviously, if you have pain, I've used more than one pain patch, and guess what? It worked in both places. So, there are times, depending on what part of the brain we're trying to biohack or stimulate, that you might be able to get more. However, Liberty and the socks and the midsole, I mean, that's just brainstem. So we open it up, it's up. You don't need both socks on. You can sleep with one on and still have the same benefit of all of that. Then we had the REM patch, and we went through all the sleep cycles in the brain and the red nucleus and the different parts of the brain that activate when you go into deep sleep and oops, and REM sleep. And so that was exciting to see how quickly that whole transition takes place of getting people into their sleep cycles.
We lost your video, bro.
Yeah, I think I'm back. Hold
Okay,
on.
there you are. You're back.
Cool. Trying to do this from my father's desk of all places. What a great place to come
Oh,
back.
yeah,
Visiting
absolutely.
visiting my mama.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah. So yeah, it's exciting. We've now that I've actually put my focus into, helping grow a business with this and not just my patients that I see day to day. Um, it's exciting. We had a lot of people coming out of the woodworks, and I have a feeling it's going to um, be some pretty exciting times ahead of us right here.
Yeah, and you know what's really I remember um with this technology when we first started, I remember saying to you that I was having trouble with task orientation. In other words, played hockey, played at a high level of hockey, contact sport. We had no concussion protocol. They snapped one of the smelling salts under your nose and it, just about made you vomit and you were back out in the ice again.
Sure.
And I remember saying to you one time that, I really would like to get brain map because I have trouble with task orientation. And this was just when the product had just come out and we
Hmm.
were just starting to utilize it. And so I went to, obviously was a guest at yours and Christy's home in Colorado. We played some
Hmm.
golf, we went mountain biking, we did a lot of fun stuff, and you brain mapped me. And you could see the in my brain map that there were issues with task orientation.
Hmm.
And I'll never forget after wearing it for 8 months and then being re-brain mapped again, and there was no image of the what we saw the first 8 months earlier. So neuroplasticity, healing, we can't claim to treat, diagnose, or cure anything, but the longer you wear this, I believe in my heart of hearts that the better off your body is going to be able to function on a regular basis and fix some things that can be fixed permanently, in my opinion. Because I was
Well,
proof of it.
you remember back from like 2017 to 2020, I tracked over, I think it was about 24, 26 people
Hmm.
that were wearing the tech every day, every night. And every few months, we'd map them again. And this went on for years. And the protocol before each map, on the ongoing maps, was you couldn't wear any tech for 24 hours. And then I can map you that next day. So I wanted to know, like, how does your brain bounce back when it's not on, as it comes off? And I wasn't expecting this, but it was every single step of the way for all 24 people was improvement, improvement, improvement. It's as if they've been doing neurofeedback with me and all this aggressive brain training. And, probably we would see 1 month of what we can do aggressively, somewhere between 6 months and a year, somebody could get those results by wearing the tech. And
Hmm.
so over time, it just got cleaner and cleaner. It was remarkable to see that. Now, a lot of people that started the test had to get disqualified because they actually had new traumas. So then it didn't count,
Sure.
as
Sure.
far as
Yeah.
seeing the other things come up. But I think on average, I think I did over 30,000 maps with the Liberty patch and the socks and insoles. Um, I guess between all of them all together, but 80% of those was the Liberty or the eSmarter or
Yeah.
what is
Sleeve,
that called now?
sleeve,
Is that
the
the
sleeve.
Focus patch? Is that
Yeah, I think it's
the equivalent?
equivalent. Yeah. And
Little
and
of the athletic and the Focus one together,
yeah,
maybe.
the victory and the focus are on a ton of athletes now. Um, and one of the things that's interesting at the University of Arizona, where they just done this study with the D1 athletes, is that the non-dominant side equaled the dominant side.
They learn from each other, right?
Yeah. So that was
How
pretty
nice is that?
exciting. I don't know whether you've seen that study yet or not, but I'll send it to you. It's if you haven't got it,
Yeah.
but it's
I,
pretty
I've
exciting.
seen several ones where Hoover had people on different weight equipment
Hmm.
and they would burn out and then they put the tech on and then you just keep going like what, like how does that work?
Oh yeah.
And of course we did all those maps on the X Games with those athletes, and I this one guy was total ADD. We put the tech on him and it totally calmed his brain down like more than anybody else. So I kind of kept my eye on him, and then like, hey, your heap is up. And he did the three big long jumps where he created some weird trick in the air for each one. And he goes and he gets up there, and we're all waiting, waiting. And all of a sudden he comes out and he does this thing where he drags his shoulder against the snow behind him. And then right before the jump, bounces up and like does some kind of cartwheel trip thing. But it was just the craziest thing I've ever seen. He gets to the bottom and he wins the gold medal. And he's just freaking out. He's showing everybody his tech on his arm and just losing his mind. And they said they were interviewing him, and he goes, well, here's the thing. Every time when I'm up there and I'm third in line, I get butterflies in my stomach and I start getting really nervous. And then when I'm second in line, my hands are sweating profusely. And then by the time I go, I'm just a hot mess. And then I just make it happen. He goes, I was up there and I'm third in line and I don't feel no butterflies. And I'm thinking, like, hey, what happened? Do I not even like snowboarding anymore? Like, what the heck is wrong with me? And then he gets two in line, no sweat. He's like, oh my gosh, what what's going on? And he wasn't even relating it to the tech. He was just thinking, like, what happened to me? And then the guy's like tapping my shoulders, like, hey buddy, you gonna go or what? And he goes, oh, okay. And he goes, I'm going down. And before I hit the first hit, I changed up my whole routine. I'm going to try something that I never tried before, but it's in my head and I think I can do it. And he did this bounce off his back thing into a front flip and a twist. And then he did something other unique on the other two jumps. And he's like, I never tried any of those things. I was just like so in the zone. That was insane. So they had a party at the top of the hill in Aspen. It was monster drink party. The whole thing was glowing green all night. And anywhere on the dance floor, you could see where that cat was because his arm was above his head and it was all glowing. And so, um, I mean, it was an exciting journey, literally of several years of every week all around with athletes, with, company heads, with some real influencers and some of
Yeah.
my heroes growing up as far as that goes. It's been pretty exciting.
Yeah, and I think that the interesting thing is way back when I can remember demonstrating this stuff. Remember we used to have take the Vox challenge, and people would come up and say, "Well, what's the Vox challenge?" And that was actually our lateral and dynamic stability assessment, our demo, as we call it. And
Yeah,
I had parents actually doing the demo test, teaching them how to do it on their own child so that they could see. And I wasn't selling it based on performance, I was selling it on reducing the risk of injury. If I could improve your kid's balance and his strength and his range of motion, would reduce the risk. And so they were lining up and they were buying this. But the problem is they wouldn't tell anybody what their secret weapon is because at the young age in hockey, it's just like a beehive of everybody chasing the puck. There's no plays, there's no nothing. And the kid that
yeah.
stays on his feet the longest usually wins. So, this dad came up that bought some technology for his son and he was like all excited because his son got 3 goals and said that he was on his feet. His balance was way better, but they weren't telling anybody. And so it's really kind of come full circle now where athletes, I believe, are
Yeah, they're
conspicuous by their absence of not wearing it, you know?
they're not quick to share with everybody else what gives them their little edge, right? So
No, no. So
they're just
anyways,
happy to get it, and
they're
that's
ha they're
fine.
they're happy to get it. And
Yeah,
so Mark, I want to respect your time with your mama. It's so good to see you on here. You cannot believe the comments in this thing. I don't need to read them, but suffice it to say that there are a ton of people that are happy. Let's
awesome.
show a bunch of hearts, guys, if you guys are happy to see Dr. Mark here on this call. So we're really excited. I'm excited to be working with you.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll bring some exciting stuff to the field to all add to your journey, to help us all uh, change the wellness of people that are struggling in this world. And those that
That's
aren't,
right.
we're just going to make them better. That's all. We'll just make them better.
And
So.
we have some really amazing new brain technology too that will be revealing the different things that we can see and do, and starting some new studies again as well. So
And
I'm just fascinated by it myself. So I can't
well,
wait to see the impact.
and the great thing is Dr. Mark and his family have years and years of experience in network marketing. His parents were big leaders in Shackley for a lot of years.
Still
Um,
are.
Still are, yeah. Mark has great
Yeah,
experience with some other companies as well that he's a big advocate for. So Mark has never lost his touch for this, but sometimes life takes you on a path that you have no control of, and but you got to go through it. And so I'm really excited to have Mark back as part of our family, part of our tribe, and we're going to bring you some exciting stuff. We're going to bring you a lot of value, and we appreciate everybody's support. So thank you so much, Mark, for being off.
awesome.
Any closing
Yeah.
statements?
Um,
Siri, if I could
yep.
just beep in
Yeah,
here for one
sure, for
sec.
sure, Kathy.
Dr. Mark, you ain't going away without me talking, saying something.
Hi, Kathy. Good to see
I
you.
I was so honored to be on a call with you the other day and to have the in to know that you were back and to try not to tell people and get them on this call was like, well, who is it? Who is it? It's like just get on the call. My phone has been blowing up since I've been on this call with people saying, "Oh my God, Dr. Mark. Oh my God, Dr. Mark." Everybody's so excited and in the chat it's blowing up and I just want to
Mm,
say welcome back, and I'm so glad you're here.
thank you. Yeah, thank you.
This guy gets as emotional as I do. I thought I was the only teddy bear. This guy's even worse than me, I think, at times. And it's so beautiful to see that we can wear our heart on our sleeve. We can be passionate and emotional. And thank you, Mark, for being genuine. Thank you, Kathy, for getting your team on here. We got some exciting things, and we got people's lives to change. And I feel like a day hasn't passed uh, since Mark and I have talked. Not that we haven't talked, but roads
Mm,
take you on different paths for certain short periods of time. But I believe that if we're in certain things in life, if you're meant to be back together, you're back together. And so it's my next year, believe it or not, this guy is going to be up at my lodge, and he's going to
Finally,
finally
you've
he's
been
going to
inviting me for a decade.
he's going to be up here,
Uh,
and I'm very grateful for that. So,
yeah.
guys, thank you so much for jumping on the call. Thank you for supporting this call. Thank you for your efforts to share this technology with the world. And as I said, we got lots of work to do and lots of exciting things. Dr. Mark's got some really, really exciting technology that's going to help us advocate and verify how this technology is incredible and for what it's doing for us. So thank you again, Dr. Mark. And if you'd all like to unmute and say goodnight, love to have you guys all do that.
Welcome back, Dr. Mark.
Welcome
back.
back.
Welcome back.
Dr. Mark. Yeah.
Happy to have
It was
you
like the
back.
Waltons.
Thank you, Dr. Mark. That was a great
See you
time.
Oh my
back.
goodness.
It's
Thank you.
Great to have you back.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Great to
Appreciate
see
that.
you.
Wonderful to have you back.
Thank you, Dr. Mark.
Maddie
Gabby,
and I are
Thank you
Darlene.
so
happy to
Oh,
see
much.
you
Come
back.
back to
Love you, brother.
Colorado.
thank you.
Come back to
Back to
Colorado.
Soraz.
Th-
Yes.
brother.
Thank you.
It's terrific.